All right, everybody, welcome back for another episode of the Bourbon Life Podcast. I'm your host, Mark, and with me, as always, is my good friend, Matt. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Mark, I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. We had a good show tonight. What do you think?
Did we ever?
Yeah.
Anytime we can bring two guests on
That's
for
right.
you all, which means even less of
us.
Yes.
Makes our life much easier, too.
It makes your life much better as well. So we had joining us Tripp Stimson and Joe Beatrice from Stellum Spirits.
Yeah, so you guys may know those names, may recognize Tripp from last year. He was on the podcast with us. He is our first repeat bourbon industry guest, actually.
He sure was.
Yeah, so but they started Barrell Craft Spirits, so you're probably familiar with that brand, but they've started a brand new line, which is called Stellum, right? So
Stellum Spirits.
Yeah, Stellum Spirits. So we enjoyed a little bit of their bourbon and also some of their rye. Man, I love these bottles, Matt. By the way.
No kidding, right?
Yeah, so we talk about that as well in the podcast. But so what'd you think though about the show in general?
I thought it was a great show. I talk about two guys that have done a really great job at what they're doing, which is taking bourbon, rye from all over and blending.
Man, I just can't imagine what. Yeah, I mean, you guys got to listen to the podcast to find out about it. But it is. I don't think I could. Well, I know I couldn't do it. I mean, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, the knowledge that they have, it's like reading the way they can read barrels and profiles and tastes. It's like a whole other language.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with them, they are a non-distilling producer. So they do source their barrels from other distilleries from not just Kentucky but also Indiana and Tennessee, and they blend them together just like they do with Barrell Craft Spirits. So Stellum kind of follows along in that same tradition, but there's a little bit of a twist on what Stellum is designed to do.
Absolutely, and you have to listen to that. We're not going to give it away.
Not going to give that one away, but Tripp's just a great guy. Joe is a good guy. We never talked to him before. Love having Tripp on again. Just very down to earth. Just a good guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think between the two of them, they've forgotten well more than I've ever learned about bourbon in this industry, and it shows in their product. So you'll have to listen to hear what we thought about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. We don't want to give it away, right? So,
no.
But we talk about how they got together. Talk about the launch of Stellum Spirits and what brought that about, and then some things that they're working on, things that they're doing. With Stellum and with Barrell Craft. We didn't really focus on Barrell Craft. Obviously, we didn't. We did that last year.
Yeah,
right?
we've been there. This was all Stellum. This is
all new.
Stellum's time to shine.
That's exactly right. And I think they did. That's all I'm going to say, though. All right. So, Matt, before we wrap it up, anything you want to add?
Thank you all so much. We look forward to having you with us for the podcast and also the postcasts coming up. So make sure to subscribe if you're...
Don't forget to like, subscribe, notifications.
And do all of that as well. And just thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. We really appreciate it.
Yes. You know what? I love doing this, Matt. I love our podcast. I love doing the postcast, even though it's just kind of just a short little snippet insight into what we've done. But I love doing this, and I hope you all enjoy them as much as we enjoy doing them. So we appreciate all your support, and check out the podcast when it drops this Friday on your favorite podcast platform. With that said, though, I'm not going to wrap it up, though, Matt. We don't do that on the podcast. We don't do that. So we'll see you right back here next week with another episode of the Bourbon Life Postcast.